All right, Jim, I guess you're going to be checking on that waiting room.
Absolutely.
And I wanted
Absolutely.
to welcome everybody to the first of the blank canvas sessions. Jim's going to kick it off, and then I'm going to take it over at 8 o'clock. We want this to be interactive, so if you have some questions or some comments, put them in the chat, and we will monitor that along the way. We're excited because the pandemic has kind of forced us into a different situation, different ways to connect. And what we're hoping to do is provide some education that is of value to folks who watch and engaging, and then offering something that they wouldn't get at a grade school, a high school, or even a college level class. And this is finding folks that are doing or working in that field, compressing decades of experience into an hour or a short period of time, and delivering that to you as part of the community. With that, I'm going to just hand it right over to Jim, and I will see you guys again at 8. Thanks, Jim.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you, Roger, for hey, hi everybody.
Hey, Rod.
Uh, I am so excited to be here tonight and to be honored to kick this thing off. So pumped, and to be partnering with Roger and with all the people that we've been working with. I just can't be more thrilled to how this is all coming together. And so my apologies in advance, though, as we're new with this whole Zoom thing. Even though we've been using Zoom for a while, we're still new at it and trying to get things figured out. So bear with us on any bumps along the road, but really excited. And so I'm going to start sharing my screen, and so you guys are going to have to let me know how that works. All right, so we got, okay, and I am, come on, there we go. So can everyone see the blank canvas? Welcome to day one. That's on everybody's screen right now. Give me a thumbs up or drop a yes in the chat. Awesome, thank you. I gotta change my screen here a little bit so I could see what's going on. Where'd the chat go? That's what I need. I need the chat. All right, there we go. Sorry, everybody. Again, we're trying to work with it. And please feel free, as Roger said, as we start going, please share, jump in the chat and drop questions, things like that, and let us know. Let me know if you have any questions as we move forward with this. But so I get to kick this thing off, and the title of my presentation is "Sell Out or Smart: Turning Your Art into a Business." And what this is all about, I got the title from inspiration of hearing a lot of artists calling other artists sellouts when they become popular. Isn't that everyone's goal, is to become popular, to be able to have other people see your artwork and be able to enjoy it and things like that. That's my guess. At least that's what I would like to see. So are you a sellout if you're making money from doing what you love to do? Or are you smart by doing it? So I'm going to give you the steps. I'm just going to give you how to get across that starting line. Obviously, to start a business in an hour ain't going to happen. I'm not that good at this to be able to condense everything into an hour. So I'm going to just give you everything that I can to get you over the starting line. And to get you on your way to starting a business of some sort. So I am going to, someone drop something in the chat, because I don't know if I have the chat on my screen right now. Again, my apologies for this. I'm trying to find the chat on my screen. Okay, chat, there's the chat. Hey, all right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. All right. Dropping in chat. Thank you, Deb. And thanks for joining us, everybody, tonight. And as we get through this, and so you get me out of the way first, and so then I can just focus on doing this part of it. But no, I'm so excited. So let's dive in. And let me tell you a little bit about who I am. So you get to look at me for a minute here. So who am I? I have been in marketing for over 30 years, which is an awfully long time. And it's kind of humbling to say that because I now am realizing my age. But over 30 years, had my own marketing business, have been doing so much with small businesses, with big businesses, and really, really love that. And so here's me in my home studio where I'm at today, and where I have started 2 podcasts. I've started because I absolutely love giving value, getting information out there about different topics. And so my two podcasts are called Trade Show University was my very first podcast, which is for helping businesses to be better at trade shows, because I saw how bad businesses were at doing trade shows and getting the results they need. And this could be for anybody who's online, who works art shows, who has a gallery opening, who has any time where you have people that you're trying to get interested in buying what you have to offer. It could be a flea, whatever those cases might be. Listen to Trade Show University. It's like a master class at working those kind of events. And so I'm about to launch my 50th episode, so I'm really excited about that. So that's the first thing. The second one, BizFire Business Spotlight. I pivoted during the pandemic to help small businesses get their voice out to the world. And so that's what that is. It's helping small businesses really tell their story and tell people why they're special. So that's my background. But I'm not all business. If anyone has been hearing Roger and giving these promotions, I am a little bit of a creative, and I love sand sculpting. So I want to throw a couple of mine just to prove that I actually have a creative bone in my body. So if you give me hours on a beach, this is what I do. I will just sit here. I will sit on the beach, and time just flies by. And my wife will go walking down the beach, and she'll come back. Hey, you want to eat lunch? And I'm like, I just got here. And she's like, no, you've been doing that for like 2 hours now. So this is what I love to do. So I've got that creative side to me. But day by day, I'm business guy. So what we're going to talk about today is all about starting a business. So when I started doing research for this, I came up with 12 key things that you need to do. And then I started thinking, okay, I've got like 45, 50 minutes to actually go through all this. So forget 12, and we're gonna give you 7. We'll give you 7 key things, and then if you're really interested at the end of this, I'll give you more opportunities that we can get together, and I can share the rest of those things and get deeper into these 7 that we're going to be talking about today. So whether you have visions of a business that's on a street like this, where you have a storefront, maybe you have a gallery, maybe you have a music shop, maybe something where you showcase your passion, or maybe it's just a home-based business like a lot of people have today because no one's leaving their houses. Whatever the case might be, we're going to talk about things that are going to be general and are going to be universal across the board that'll be helpful for you. So the first key thing is, should you take that leap? Should you take the leap to start your own business? And here's really where mindset comes into play. I talked about already having that sellout mentality of, well, I'm a purist. I don't want to become popular. I don't want my stuff to get rote or just, so commonplace. I want my stuff to be unique. Guess what? Your stuff is unique. Only you could have ever created it. So only your stuff is unique, or it's only came from you. But think about this. Are you smart? Are other people smart for making money from what they do? If you're making money from what you do, that allows you to do a lot of things. Okay, if you don't need the money, that's one thing. But I'm guessing if you're here in this session, then you're thinking, I would like to be able to make money from this. But think about this. You can pay your bills, for one thing. Get out of debt if you're in debt. You can buy more materials, try new mediums, try new things, expand your offerings, maybe get into a bigger gallery, a bigger show place, whatever it is, it might give you that opportunity to do that. Another thing about mindset is a lot of people think, and I think this myself too, you know, the stuff I put out, it's just not that good. And so I don't feel worthy charging for it. You've got to get past that, because what you have, each one of you has something so incredibly special and so incredibly unique that you have to share it with others. Okay. It's your right and duty to share it with others and to make some money from it. So get past the, if someone's, especially if someone wants you to create a piece for them or write some music for them or whatever it is that you do, then take that as a privilege and charge accordingly. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later as well. But I want to ask you if that's the thing, is that, well, you don't feel like you should charge enough, or I think I should just give it away because it's so easy for me and it's just, I love to do it, and so I just give it away. And I know people like this, where they just give their stuff away. So I want to ask you this, if you were, for all of you who have gone to concerts, you've gone to movies, you've gone to the theater, you've bought pieces of art, have any of you ever been mad at the person charging you admission to go see them, or to see that play or see that production? Drop in the chat a yes or a no for me. If you are get mad at someone for charging you. So no, of course not. And that's what it's all about. You got to get into the mindset of, yes, okay, it's okay to charge, and it's okay to make money from this. And in fact, it probably could be a very, very good thing to allow you to do more, to try new things. But the thing is, whatever craft it is that you're working in, if you find yourself while you're doing, well, I'm just going to call your passion, the thing that you're good at, and it just takes you away to another place where it brings you such joy, then you've got to give yourself permission to do it, and to do it more often, especially if any of you are stuck in a job where you are not all that happy and you would like to have more time to do it. Even if you got yourself to a position where you can maybe go to part-time and then do your passion more often. So once again, should you start a business? Should you charge for your stuff? And I'm going to say yes. If you're here, I'm hoping you get a yes out of that. All right. So let's move on to the next thing. So now, if we're all in agreement that we're going to say yes, then let's move on to the next thing. You got to set some goals. You got to set some goals. Do you want to have a small business? Do you want to have a side hustle, or you maybe just want to make a little bit of money, maybe to pay some bills, just have some extra cash to invest, to buy more materials, to buy a new studio, new equipment, whatever it is? Do you just want that small business? Or do you want a big business? Do you want this to just totally replace all your other income so you could do this full time? So you could do it full time and maybe even add some, depending on what it is, maybe you're adding staff, maybe you are adding more people to help you grow. So that is, the next thing you've got to figure out. Do you want that small business? Do you want that big business that's going to allow you to do things more, do them more often, and do them better? Okay. The one thing you need to understand, though, the bigger the business, the bigger the investment, and the bigger the risk. So if you're going all in, you have to be able to do it. You have to have the wherewithal and have the finances, or at least to have the backing. Maybe you get an investment, maybe you get a line of credit to be able to do it, so that you can get to that point. But don't do something that is going to put you in a worse position. The cool thing about technology today, and the cool thing about where we are as with technology as a society, side hustles and small businesses have become so commonplace, so that it's very acceptable. It's very acceptable for you to do that, and to maybe start small and build it and do it smart, so that you can do it at your own pace, and then build to where you can say, hey, you know what? I'm in the position I can quit my job now and I could do this full time. So hopefully maybe that sounds great to some of you, but have those goals. And if anybody wants I have a goal setting workbook that is absolutely free, and I'll give you my website at the end here, and it's really for trade shows, but it's got a process in there that is good for any business, for goal setting for your business. So I've got that free of charge to anyone who's interested, and I'll give my website at the end. But right now I'll tell you, it's tradeshowu.biz, tradeshow the letter u.biz. So after we're done tonight, head over there, just give me your email address, and I will send you my ultimate goal setting guide and workbook. So it's absolutely free for all of you today. So number 2, set those goals. Small business, big business, side hustle, full-time, whatever it is. Number 3, what to charge. Okay, I'm not going to give you an exact, oh, you should charge this amount or this times your cost or anything like that. But really what I want you to get out of this is to charge enough, Profit's good. Profit is a good thing. It allows you to pay for doing more. And I'm going to repeat some of this stuff today because it's very fundamental, but you need to have that money to be able to reinvest in doing stuff. And I know that our presenter tomorrow, both presenters tomorrow, Carrie Esser as well as Neil Zaza and Teresa Rose, they have, thinking about Carrie and her body painting and the makeup, she's got to buy constantly materials and brushes and everything that she does to work her magic. And the same with Neil and Teresa, with all the equipment that they need. You need to be able to make money and make enough so that you can sustain it and be able to do more and branch out and try new things. Money helps. Okay, there's an old quote from Zig Ziglar who said, I've been without money and I've had money. Having money is better. So it just comes down to having money is better for what you're going to be, for what you want to do. So charge enough. And the thing is, you've got to value your time. You got to value your time. I was talking to someone not too long ago, and they created this magnificent piece, and they were charging like $30 for it. And I said, my gosh, that's really, really good. How long did it take you to do that? Oh, it was about 25 hours. And I said, 25 hours? You're only charging $30, so you value your time at like $1.25 an hour? You've got to value your time. You've got to value your time. So when you're doing something, and I know that for some people that can be very difficult, and I know for me that's been a tough thing. When I do marketing stuff and design and copywriting and stuff like that, I'm like, well, it was not that big of a deal, but it takes time, and you've got a talent that is so unique to you, and so you've got to be able to charge for that to make that money back from what you're investing in. Okay, don't settle for way below minimum wage to put out stuff that is one-of-a-kind creations that nobody else in the world can do. Don't settle for that. Don't settle for that. So value your time. All right, let's move on to the next thing. So that is where to sell. Where do you sell? There's so many opportunities, but let's take a look at that word sell. Everyone hates that word. I hate the word. I hate selling, but you know what? We have to sell, right? We had to make money. You're selling, but the best definition of selling is really you're helping people get what they really need and really want. So you're just making that transaction happen. So at the end of it, it's not really selling. So let's look at it this way. It's where to show. Where are you going to show your craft? Where are you going to show your passion? And that might be in a physical space. And I've, in many of the Tuesday at 7 sessions, we've seen some amazing art galleries and haunts and places like that it's physical. It's a very physical place. It's a retail storefront. It's a gallery, things like that. But with technology today and with the internet, it's amazing what is available to you as far as the opportunities to sell. So I'm just going to go through a few of these, and I'm not going to go deep dive into them, but I want to show you, the #1 site that everyone talks about. Oh, I have an Etsy store, or, everyone's on Etsy, and it's become a huge platform, and people are making tremendous, tremendous money from Etsy. And so it is a great tool, a great platform for you to do it. I'm not going to show you how to do it or how to be successful at it, but because there's plenty of people out there that are experts at making money off of Etsy and off of a lot of them. But I'm going to throw out a bunch of different websites that are very, very specific for artists and creatives to sell their stuff. So of course, like I said, we know about Etsy, and another one is eBay. A lot of people sell stuff on eBay, and it's very specific. You're not going to sell those one-of-a-kind sculptures and things like that on eBay because you're not going to get the value. But there are a lot of other websites out there that are very specific, and many of these, again, you're going to have to dive into some of these, and I can give you the list afterwards because you're going to see I have a bunch of them here. But some of them are very, very good at helping you get the entire platform set up. They'll set up payment processing. They'll give you a free website. They'll give you analytics tools. They'll give you all sorts of things. So you're going to have to do some digging to see what makes the most sense for what you do. Okay, if it's painting, if it's sculpture, if it's music, if it's something else, whatever it is that you do, find the platform that best meets your needs and where your audience is. And that's really, really a key thing, is where your audience is. And I'm not going to hit on audience today, but I am going to give you an opportunity to really dive into understanding your audience better at a later date. But so I want to go through a few more of these. And some of these, again, I'm not going to go deep into them, but there's a lot of wonderful websites out there. ArtSpan, ImageKind, a lot of these are very, very artist and creative focused websites for selling your stuff. Okay, Fine Art America for that stuff that's a little more high end, a little more gallery focused website. Saatchi Art is another one like that. Statista, Zazzle, and Cafe Press are ones, if you have designs, it allows you to take your design work and create t-shirts, mugs, plaques, things like that. So if you're just doing the design, it allows you to put your design on products and then create a storefront where you can then sell those products. So it might not be selling the actual one-of-a-kind artwork, but being able to put specific designs on certain products. Other ones, Artsy, Artplode, Artfire. There's singular art. You hear a theme coming here with all the art ones, but it's not just for artists. And so I wanted to bring also ones for musicians. There's 3 here: TuneCore, Ditto Music, Reverb Nation, all ones that will help you set up your music. If you're into music and that's what you're creating, set up your music to be able to sell your music online, give you that platform. And I can give everybody all these websites afterwards. I guess the whole point of this slide is there's huge opportunities, and you don't have to pick just one. You could pick multiple ones to get your word out there, get your artwork out there, get your passion out there so people can enjoy it and they're making it easy. So you don't have to do all the work of setting up your own gallery in your own physical space and go through all the research. They do a lot of it for you, but do your research about each one of these and see what makes the most sense for what you do. Okay. And I'm just going to keep firing, moving forward. Okay. So let's talk about your role. Okay. And I know Roger had mentioned last night in our Tuesday at 7. In 2021, there's going to be a lot more delving into the culinary arts. And so I love bakery, and I have a massive sweet tooth. So I wanted to, but there's more of a reason that I have this up here. So I want you to think about if this is new for you, if this is getting into a business is fairly new for you. I want you to think about your role in a business. And I'm going to start talking about the book called The EMyth Revisited. Has anyone heard of the EMyth or read the EMyth Revisited? Carrie, yes, you have. Jess, if not, oh, Yeah, Carrie, it's a phenomenal book. And so I'm going to dive into to some of the examples from that book, because I think it's one of the best books for small businesses available anywhere. It is just outstanding. And I'm going to give you, so just hang tight, and I'm going to give you some information on how to get it for free. What? Free? Yes, free. Okay. So in the book, uh, he gives the author gives, it's written in a story fashion, and he talks about someone who loved baking pies. That was her. She learned from her grandmother, grew up in her grandmother's kitchen, and made pies all day long, and just absolutely loved making pies. And as she grew up, everyone said, "Are you bringing a pie to the next family gathering? Are you bringing pies?" I'm sure some of you have this kind of talent where you're baking, or they're always asking you to bring something, a special dish. This is her in the book, and people kept saying, "You know what? You should sell your pies. They are the best. They're better than any other pies out there." And so she says, "You know what? I'm gonna start a business." And she gets into business. She sets up this cute little bakery, and it's just one of those picture perfect. If you think about a picture perfect bakery, maybe something like the picture that you see on your screen here, and those cases just look amazing, and the smells and the cute. There's a few tables in there, and it's just some cute, cool music playing. It's just a great space. And she starts off, and people are loving her pies, and things are going great. And then she has to hire people, and that has mixed reviews, and some people are good and some people are not so good. And let's fast forward, and a couple years down the road, and she's burnt out. She is burnt out because all she wanted to do was bake pies. She didn't want to have to do financing for her business. She didn't want to have to hire and fire people. She didn't want to do all these things, but it was her business, so she had to. So I want to talk about the three people that it takes to make and run any business. It takes three specific people, and these are really types of people. The first type of person is an entrepreneur. Okay, and that's where the title of the book comes from, the E-Myth. It's the entrepreneur myth, that if you are someone who does something well, then you are an entrepreneur if you go into business, and that's simply not true. But an entrepreneur, by definition, is someone who's always thinking out in the future, who is always thinking, what is next? What's next? And how do I grow my business? And who else can we sell to? And what else can we do? And constantly be thinking about how to innovate and grow. And that's the entrepreneur, always out in front. So that's one person you need to grow your business, because you need someone thinking about how do we grow. The second person you need is a manager. They're the ones that are going to be making sure everything's done right day to day. The hiring and firing, the making sure we comply to all the health standards in our kitchen, and making sure everything that we do is up to code, and we have the right hours, and all our bills are paid, and all that good stuff. So that's the manager, taking care of all the day to day. The third person is the technician. The technician is the person that does what they do. So in the story of the pie baker, the technician is the person who bakes the pies. They create. Okay? And for a lot of artists and creatives, the technician is the painter, is the sculptor, is the glassblower, is the musician. Okay? And a lot of most small businesses are started by technicians. They're very good at doing something. And so they start a business. Someone talks them into it, or they talk themselves into it. And then they go down the road, and they're the only person that has to fill all these roles. But they aren't set up to be a manager. They're not set up to be a entrepreneur. They're a technician. They love to bake pies. They love to paint. They love to sculpt. They love to sand sculpt. They love to write songs. But they don't have an affinity for all the other roles that it takes to build a business. So if we back up to a more macro level, back up a little bit and take a look at a generic organizational chart, and think about if you broke down any business, you can probably fill all these boxes as to Well, if I'm baking pies, I'm the production manager, and I'm the production department, and I'm quality insurance, quality assurance, and I'm the finance department because I have to pay the bills, and so, but what you want to do is produce, because that's what you're good at and that's what you love to do. But in all reality, you fill all these boxes, okay? But the goal is, how do you get you out of the boxes that you're not good at or that cause you stress, and that you could pay somebody else to do? Okay, so that's what I want you to think about. And all of this is in the book, The E-Myth Revisited. The E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber. It is a phenomenal book. So it goes through this story that I just poured into a couple minutes here of explanation, and he gives so many more examples, and I know Carrie was excited about that. So it's just a phenomenal, the best small business book I think that exists today. It's been around forever, and it's just fantastic. And so what I want you to do is, I want to give you the opportunity to get the audiobook for free. The audiobook, it's 8 hours long. And it's fantastic. And so to get it for free, I will send this, and I'll drop this into the chat. Drop this link into the chat, which is audibletrial.com. Oops, sorry, I'm trying to type at the same time. I'm not multitasking. audibletrial.com/tradeshowu. So go there and you will get a free audiobook and a free 30-day trial to Audible. So if anyone is into audiobooks, or you're on the road a lot, or just you listen to a lot of audiobooks or podcasts, things like that, try going there. This book, if you were to just get the audio version, is $27. So there's a freebie from me to you. Just go there and you get a free 30-day trial. So you could try more. You could listen to more books. And then if you want to continue on, I think it's $14.95 a month after that. But you get first 30-day free, and then you can just cancel at that point if you want to do it. So, so get this book, and then get others. Carrie, you get others because you already have this one. So, but get this book. It is a phenomenal book. So I hope this is being helpful so far. I've got a couple more things. How's it going? Is this good so far? Give me a yes or a thumbs up. Or awesome. Thank you. All right. So let's move on to the next topic, which is, as soon as I can get it up on the screen, there we go. Don't go it alone. Don't be the lone wolf. And by don't going it alone, what I'm saying is, find a partner. Find it. You saw that org chart. I mean, that is realistic. You can take any business and break it up into all those tasks that you have to do. If nothing else, split up some of those tasks. Split up some of those things that you have to do every single day with either a partner. And if it's not a partner, then find a coach, find a mentor, find someone who's been there, done that, and can help guide you along the way. Being in business is no joke. And anyone who's been in business before knows it. And I see Karen out there, because you've had your business, right? And so you're nodding your head. So there's a lot to running a successful business. And there's so many things that you're constantly juggling, have all these plates spinning, and it's so easy for those plates to start falling and crashing. So don't go it alone. Have, whether that is a partner, business partner, or someone who is there to help you out, or an advisor, a mentor, a coach, someone who can guide you along the way. Or maybe be part of a mastermind group that meets on a regular basis, where that you can tell them what is going on in your business, and they can group think together and come up with new solutions that you can try to incorporate into your business. So don't go it alone. Let others do stuff around you that, like we said, that are not your strengths. So if your strengths is making pies and not doing the books, find someone whose strength is doing the books, so that you can come together, just like a successful relationship. You have a lot of successful. My wife and I, we just today is our 31st anniversary. Of all days. So, and we are so opposite in many ways, but we complement each other because her strengths are my weaknesses, and vice versa. I am very ADD, and thank you, everybody. So, thank you so much for your kind words. The uh, we are. I am so forgetful and so ADD, and she's more focused, and she's gotten a memory that just blows me away. What she remembers, I forget 10 times over, and she remembers. But it's amazing. So don't go it alone. Find that person, or invest in a coach, invest in a mentor, or someone that you could just bounce ideas off of. But doing it all by yourself can just be very, very difficult and be very, very stressful and frustrating. So don't go it alone. All right, I'm going to give you some resources. This is number 7 out of 7. Give you some resources when you're ready to move forward and go across that starting line and say, okay, I know there's a lot of decisions to be made. What do I do? How do I get to the next step? Oops. Why is my PowerPoint restarting? All right, that was interesting. Sorry. Okay. Does everyone see the screen again? That was the most bizarre thing. I don't know why that happened, but anyway. So some resources, some organizations out there that are waiting and willing to help you get to that next step, to help you kind of pull your ideas together. It doesn't matter if you're just in the starting phase or if you are ready to grow, and you just need those people to bounce ideas off of. Like I said, don't go it alone. This kind of morphs into the resources that you have available to you. So I want to give you a few things here that I believe will be very, very helpful for you. The first resource is SCORE. I don't know if anyone's heard of SCORE before. SCORE stands for the Senior Council of Retired Executives. These are people that have had executive positions in business, and they are retired, but they're not ready to give up, and they have so much knowledge to share. So if you go to score.org, and you will meet, this is absolutely free of charge. You meet with them, they will help you design a business plan, or you bring your business plan, or you bring them your whatever you're going through, and you say, here's my goals, or they'll help you set goals. And these are people who have, again, been there, done that. They are successful people that have been successful in business. They're retired and they're not ready to give up. They have so much value. So you reach out to them. You can set up a free meeting, and they will mentor you as you go. Just phenomenal resource. I have good friends of mine who have a business in Willoughby called My Mindful Market. It's a health food market, and they make some of the stuff on site, and other stuff they make or other stuff that they sell is all local. It's all Ohio based and local vendors, and they credit SCORE for getting them up and running. And now this weekend they're opening their second location in Chagrin. So this works, and they give so much credit to SCORE. So if you're looking for that mentor, that group that could help you get to the next level, check out SCORE. Another one is the SBA, the Small Business Administration. Aside from the financing, they also have a ton of resources available to you. And this is all from the government, so a lot of it is free. They have low interest loans, and will get you don't get loans from them, you get loans from a bank, but they will guide you to the right bank that will best meet your needs and where you have the best chance of getting qualified for the loan that you might need. Because if you're going to open up a physical space, a gallery or a studio or a music studio or anything like that, that's a lot of capital. It's very capital intensive. So you're going to need financing. Most likely you're going to need financing. The SBA is a great place to go. Third is, and this is part of the SBA, it's called Small Business Development Centers. And so depending on what city you're in, you have to look up Small Business Development Center, and it's kind of like SCORE, except the people are younger. So, and they are really tuned into what all the government regulations and licensing and things like that that you need available to you. There's one that is run through Cleveland State University. So that's the website there on the screen, CSU SBDC. That's the Cleveland State University Small Business Development Center, but it is part of the SBA. And I met with them early on when I was launching my my podcast, and extremely helpful in helping me to get down the right path, giving me new ideas, things to think about. They had accountants that come in once a week or every other week, that you can meet with an accountant and go over your books. So to make sure to get a professional's viewpoint on it. So if you're in the Cleveland area, check out CSU SBDC. It's actually not even at Cleveland State. It's on the east side somewhere. I can't remember what city. I think Cleveland Heights or something like that. But check out, if you're in another city, just look up Small Business Development Center in your city, and that would be helpful for you. Last thing I want to throw out there is what's called a business incubator. Now, a lot of these are for tech companies. So if you have, if you're doing graphic design, you're doing other tech work, it'd be perfect. But there are business incubators that handle all sorts of different types of businesses. And what a business incubator is, it's like renting a space where you not only get a space to run your business, but you also have a ton of resources and people there. So you would have conference rooms, you would have technology available for you, you have mentors on staff to help guide you along the way, kind of like some of these other resources would as well. But they give you that space and the resources to help you grow. So you have a place to go every single day. You're not stuck at your home or your home office. You have a place to go, and you have people to meet with every single day. So it's really can be a valuable tool. So just check into that if that sounds like something that may be of interest to you. So those are a few of the resources, and I've gone through all seven of my keys for right now, and I've done it in what, about 45 minutes. So I've got a few more things here, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. But maybe there we go. So if you're ready to launch, are you ready to launch? You ready to take that step? Hopefully I've given you enough to be able to take you down those paths, down those steps, and into your own business, whether that's a side hustle or whether that's a full-time gig. I've given you enough to get started. And so I wanted to run through the things one more time that are my freebies to you today. So remember that free audiobook and the free 30-day trial with Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/tradeshowu, and you will grab that EMyth Revisited book. It is phenomenal, but there's so many great business books out there. So for you, those of you who have either read EMyth and are looking for that next book, they have thousands and thousands of titles available to you on audio. But get your freebie. You don't have to stay a member, so you can get your freebie and get out of there if you want to. Or if you find value in that, you got a 30-day trial, so you can do multiple in the first 30 days, and you can continue on if you want to. The second thing is my free goal setting workbook. I call it the ultimate goal setting workbook. It's jam packed with exercises and things to do. So get over to tradeshowu.biz for that, and I just sign up for the newsletter, and I will send that out to you right away. And then check out my 2 podcasts. Trade Show University is a masterclass. If you're, like I said, if you're doing tent shows, you're doing art shows, anywhere where you have your artwork, your passion, whatever it is, and you have people walking in front of you that are looking to buy what you have to offer, this is going to help you to be more confident and to sell more. Okay, and then BizFire Business Spotlight is a spotlight of small businesses, so you can hear other people's stories. Most of them are in the Cleveland area, but I've got a few in Florida that I've highlighted as well, and other places and throughout the country as well. So, and I've got some great guests coming up. Oh my gosh, I'm really excited. I've recorded a couple interviews that I've got to still edit, but I've got one of the top podcasters in the country, is one of my mentors who has over 1 million downloads a month to his podcast, and I interviewed him the other day, and I can't wait to share some of his journey with everybody on my podcast. I'm going to put his on both podcasts because he's so popular. So get all the audiences doing it. So so thank you. So check those out. Check those out. And want to go deeper. If you want to go deeper, I'm going to be doing a 3-day challenge, and I'm going to be announcing this sometime in early November. In early November, we're going to be doing a 3-day challenge where we're going to really dive into your audience, understanding who your audience is, what your special messaging should be, your branding, and so much more. And we're going to do it in only 3 days. So it's going to be fantastic. Okay, is anyone having issues with hearing? I see one. Karen, can people hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear. You can hear? Okay. All right. Okay, so a couple of questions that are coming in. Let's see. Some website platforms for small businesses that have the ability to sell your art online. That was a lot of that list that I gave earlier, and I'll go back to that slide so you can take a look at that slide, or you could do a screen capture. Where is it? There we go. So do a screen capture of this. There's a lot of these websites here that are available that are very art specific. So it's not just throwing your artwork up on eBay when you're competing with tennis shoes and flat screen TVs and everything else under the sun, or something like Amazon, where those might be good platforms depending on what you're doing. Might be good platforms, but some of these, snap a picture of this screen or do a screen capture or something like that, and check some of these out. Some of them are very, very specific to the type of art, or the like Fine Art America is really it's more of the finer art. So check some of those out. Let me see. I got a couple other questions here. Thoughts about starting a new business during a worldwide pandemic? Wow, great question. Great question. And I would say, obviously, it depends what it is. I wouldn't be starting a new restaurant at this point. Probably not the best idea, because there's so many places that are still locked down and a lot of people are still afraid to go out of their homes. However, if it's something that can be done online, you have so many resources available to you. I mean, obviously, the things that are on this screen are just the tip of the iceberg as to what you can do or services that you can provide. But I know a lot of people that are getting into personal coaching. One-on-one coaching right now is getting huge, because I personally have new family members on my daughter's new family. She has a brother-in-law who is in his second year of college. And everything went online. All his classes are online. They're not meeting anywhere on campus, but they didn't lower tuition at all. And he's like, well, why should I do all that? So I'm just going to go to try see if everything's going to be online, I'm going to do that. So what we're seeing a lot of people that are not valuing that formalized education as much as they are, let me learn one-on-one from somebody who's done it, and I'm willing to pay them money to teach me how to learn a craft, to learn an art. And so I think that is where you're going to be seeing a lot of people moving to, is more online and more online businesses. And I think this is a great time, because if you can reach your audience in an online, then I think you have a great opportunity. Could be very, very low cost, low resource output, but it might be, especially if you can get something that already has a platform set up for you that you could just kind of plug into, like some of these things that are on the screen here. If you're a designer and you want to design a line of t-shirts, and you don't want to have to go and source the t-shirt vendor, and you don't want to have to find out what their processes are and get all sorts of samples, but you can go to Cafe Press and upload your design, and immediately you have t-shirts available. And if you wanted to write a book, you have all sorts of self-publishing platforms available. So depending on what it is, I think this is a great time to start a business because of the technology that's available to you. So I hope that answers that question. And let me see what other questions. Said, Carrie said, I might have missed it, not sure. Where would I go to register a trademark? I am way behind on this. Would the Small Business Development Center help me through this process? Yeah, absolutely. And they would definitely be able to help you through the process. So the trademark goes through the Patent and Trademark Office, uspto.gov. uspto.gov, that's U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. And it's a long process to go through. I have, the name of my company is BizFire Group, and I have trademarked the word BizFire. And so that it's not cheap either, but there are cheaper ways to go about it. So you can go about it, but it will cost you a little bit of money. I think it cost me all in probably about $2,000 to register that. But I went with a big law firm because it was recommended by a friend, but I think you can do it much cheaper than that. And there probably are ways to do it on your own, but you don't want to do it on your own. don't go through that. It's a legal issue, and you want to make sure that it's done by a professional to do it the right way. But uspto.gov is that website for the Patent and Trademark Office. Okay, another question. How do you differentiate your product or service from those you're competing with, especially when first starting out? Great question. And that is taking time to really analyze and sit down, take the time to say, okay, what do I do that's different than everybody else? How is mine different? And if you're an artist, it's a style thing. It's really a style. It's hard to say that my painting is different from that. Yes, it's different, but is it better necessarily? It's there's people that love all sorts of different styles, and some that gravitate from one style to another. So from an artist or creative standpoint, it's difficult to really do that. But maybe just to pull one out of the sky, which is so different because it's an easy example. Someone that I know participates in the Cleveland Portrait Artist from Singapore, who does all her work in eyeshadow. I mean, how amazing is that, and how different is that? So that's one thing that is is obviously different, but take the time and say, how am I different? How am I better than other people? How are they better than me? What mediums do I use that are different? What ways do I do it that are different? What, maybe it's the size, maybe it's the texturing, whatever it is that is uniquely yours. And everyone's got something that is uniquely theirs. So figure what that is. Or maybe it's a special service. Maybe do something custom. That is where you're being able to have somebody send you a photo that you're going to do. Okay, kind of like a tattoo artist. I know Matt Steele, who a lot of you know in the Tuesday at 7 community, who's crazy talented. And people come to him with just an idea, and then he'll pick up a picture, or maybe they bring a picture, and he's able to transform that into art. So maybe that is something that you do as well. Someone asked for my own website. It is tradeshowu.biz. Tradeshowu.biz. I'm going to go off of this screen again and go back down to. Sorry, don't get dizzy. Sorry. All right. So tradeshowu.biz is my website. Or if you want to reach out to me, check me out on Facebook, and you could direct message me at any time if you have any questions on anything, or my email, jim@bizfiregroup.com, jim@bizfiregroup.com. A couple other quick questions. What are some good places to build a website? If you want to do something for free or low cost, I know there's some good platforms out there. Squarespace has a really nice platform for building a website, and you can build a shopping website as well. Wix, Wix.com is a free website builder, completely free. There's some caveats to it, and it's a little bit limiting, but they have some really nice platforms and templates and stuff that you can use. GoDaddy, if you register a domain name with them, they have their own template and website builder as well. That's fairly affordable. So there's those are three really good ones that are low to mid range, or low to low, zero cost to low cost. And if you want something that's done more professionally, then reach out to my good friends at designpod.studio. So Jess Adnich, who is going to be presenting on Friday, does phenomenal work. Her and her team do phenomenal work. So if you have a little bit higher budget, but you want something that is specifically all yours, you're not borrowing a template, you're doing it all yours, and you have greater functionality that you need built in. You maybe want someone to be able to 3D rotate your artwork or whatever it is. Reach out to Jess at designpod.studio. Okay, I'm gonna try and hit a couple other questions because there were 2 minutes to 8, so I'm gonna try and do a little rapid fire here. Jessica asks, what marks can you put at the end that don't cost actually registering? What marks can you put at the end that don't cost actually registering? Put a TM. A TM at the end of, or an SM is basically saying you're taking the first steps of doing it. When you see someone that has the R in a circle, that means it's registered, and that means you've gone through the entire process and are registered with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. So, but if you're in that process or you're thinking about it, just put a TM next to your logo. That'll ward off some of the wannabes that want to steal your stuff. They might see that you're in the process, but it's not defensible in court. Okay, let's see. And I think that's it. I think that's all the questions I have, right on time with 1 minute to spare. Thank you everybody for joining in. I hope this was valuable to you, and it was just an honor for me to be here today and to do this. So let's see if I can get back over here, and I'll stop my share, and we'll get I was the opening act. We'll get the main attraction here tonight, Roger Miller. But if anyone has any questions, please reach out to me, send me an email, reach out to me on Facebook, and we'll get your questions answered. And if you want to go deeper and you want someone to help coach you along, reach out to me, and I would love to work with you. All right, and we will be reaching out to you regarding. I'm going to be launching that 3-day challenge I'm really excited about, but it's going to be sometime in early November. So stay tuned. So anyone who's here, you've had the opportunity. We have your email address, and we will be emailing you all that information as that becomes available.